Even in darkness, a heart can shine.
Hello everyone, welcome to What If Tanjiro Was Betrayed by Hashira's and Became the Next Demon King movie. Before we start, please go support IsseiOmniversalCaos for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken characters' gender, but of course Tanjiro is a male. In this story, Tanjiro achieved much and was destined to achieve even more. One night, Tanjiro had a mission, and upon returning, he found the pillars killing Nezuko. Tanjiro left the headquarters, driven by his desire to kill those the pillars loved. He met a girl named Riia, a girl with two demons who became Tanjiro's allies, and together they aspired to become the next demon king. Chapter 1. After Tanjiro and Nezuko were accepted into the pillars' headquarters, Tanjiro gradually noticed that some of the pillars looked at him with hatred. One day, just after waking up, Tanjiro's crow arrived and told him to go to the master's house. Tanjiro put on his clothes and said goodbye to his sister, who could now walk in the sun and no longer had the bamboo in her mouth as before. Tanjiro went to the master's house, and upon seeing Tanjiro, he said, "Welcome Tanjiro." "Tanjiro. It's a pleasure to see you, Oyakata-sama. I hope you are in good health." "Oyakata, thank you Tanjiro. You have a mission in a village to the south. It's a long way, but I know you return. I'm sure of it, son." "Tanjiro. Thank you, Oyakata, thank you for accepting me. I love you as my father, Nezuko." Oyakata was shocked to hear this and began to cry. Tanjiro went and hugged him, and Oyakata returned the hug. Afterward, Tanjiro left, unaware that some pillars had witnessed this and decided to take action. That night, while Nezuko was asleep, she heard someone enter. She sat up in bed and turned to look. And what she saw left her speechless. After Tanjiro's mission, which had been quite difficult, he managed to kill the demon. However, as he approached the estate, he smelled blood. He quickly ran and hid in the bushes, only to see something that made him weep. Nezuko was being tortured by the pillars. She had many cuts all over her body and was pleading for them to stop. But Tanjiro saw someone approaching, and it was Zenitsu with his katana in hand. Upon seeing him, Nezuko said, "Zenitsu, please save me." "Zenitsu? Goodbye demon, lightning breathing, first form, flash of lightning once." He cut off Nezuko's head, which rolled down until it landed where Tanjiro was. She saw him crying, and when she saw him, she just smiled and died. The pillars left, but Tanjiro took his sister's clothes and ran towards Kanao, only to see her kissing Inosuke. That broke Tanjiro's heart even more. The next morning, all the pillars were summoned by the master to his house. Each pillar arrived with their protective hunters at their side. They all bowed, and the master stood there, serious. Sanemi said, "Good morning master. I hope you enjoy." "Patron." "Silence, Sanemi. Why was Tanjiro's sister killed?" The pillars were surprised by the question, but Rengoku said, "Master, there is no proof of them." Tanjiro appears behind and angrily says, "Here is the proof." She throws Nezuko's clothes away and Shinobu says, "That doesn't blame us, maybe it was a demon." Tanjiro. "In the clothes I smell the pillars, Zenitsu, and also the demon slayers." Everyone was stunned and the master asked again, "Why did they kill Tanjiro's sister?" Mitsuri. "Master, a hunter cannot travel with a demon." Patron. "I accepted Nezuko regardless of whether she was a demon. She showed no signs of aggression towards you." Rengoku, pattern according to the rules indicates that. Tanjiro. "What does it matter with stupid rules? She was all I had left in this life. She was the only survivor of my family and now you kill her because she was a demon." Tomioka. "Tanjiro, you better calm down, because if you don't." Tanjiro. "What if I don't? Are you going to kill me? I pity you, Tomioka. I used to think of you as a friend, but now I despise you. You know, I didn't think of you as a friend, but as an older brother. I wanted to thank you for saving Nezuko, but I pity you." Zenitsu. "Look who's talking, the disgusting hunter." Tanjiro, with a movement that the pillars could not see, appeared behind Zenitsu who kicked him, making him crash into a pole inside the house where the master was sitting. The pillars take their katanas, but Tanjiro says, "Breath of death, fourth guillotine stance." In that movement, he cuts the floor and blocks the passage of the pillars. Zenitsu tries to take his katana, but Tanjiro cuts off 3 of his fingers and then kicks him in the stomach, making him spit blood. Tanjiro. "You disgust me, Zenitsu. I considered you a friend and Nezuko started to feel something for you." Upon hearing that, Zenitsu just started crying, but Tanjiro said, "Lightning breathing 6, lightning madness form." Several cuts appeared in 3 seconds all over Zenitsu's body, who fell to the ground. Tanjiro turned his gaze to Oyakata and said, "I leave, father." Oyakata. "No, Tanjiro, please stay." Tanjiro. "I'm sorry, but I can't be here in the presence of the people who killed my sister." Oyakata. Okay son, you can leave and you can come back whenever you want. Tanjiro. Thank you, I'll only return to finish off all the pillars. Tanjiro takes his sister's clothes and runs out. The pillars stop and begin to chase Tanjiro. Inosuke, seeing Tanjiro leave, goes after him, and Kanao, who came out of her room adjusting her clothes, saw the pillars running after Tanjiro. She also follows them until they reach the large trees. Tanjiro says. Fire-breathing ninth stand solar flares. Flames were heading straight for them, but they managed to intercept the blow. Everyone stopped there, and Tanjiro turned to look at them, his eyes filled with fury, his veins bulging on his forehead. Rengoku. Kamado, my boy, please let us explain. Tanjiro. Explain. Explain. Explain what? You took away the only thing I had left. Do you know how painful it is to lose a brother or sister? For me, it's too painful. Shinobu, Tanjiro, it's just that. Tanjiro. Nothing Shinobu, I'm very disappointed in you. Do you know what Kani would say if she were alive? Nothing. She would look you in the eyes with fear, with horror. She wouldn't even be able to call you sister for the rest of your life. Shinobu fell to the ground crying because what Tanjiro told her was true. The big man said. Child, you must understand that when they leave there is no going back. She must be happy up there with your family. Tanjiro grew even angrier, his mark expanding and his katana turning blood red. He said, if they're there, and my sister too, I just wanted to be happy with the person I love so much. I took care of her all this time, and now you're taking that away from me. Tanjiro began to cry, and Himejima remained silent. Tanjiro was about to leave, but. Hana said. Tanjiro, please listen, I'm sorry for abandoning you. Tanjiro. I won't forgive you. You were the person I loved so much, and if I couldn't be with you, it was because I wanted to find a way to turn Nezuko back into a human. I had already found it and now she's gone and it's all your fault. Be happy, Kanao, with Inosuke. Everyone stopped because they were going to go after Tanjiro, but he said. Rock breathing 7th form rock destroyer. Tanjiro struck the ground and rocks erupted from beneath them, shattering the Nichiren katanas they possessed. The pillars were astonished by this. Tanjiro declared. Fire-breathing 9th form fire wave. He slammed the katana into the ground and a wave of fire spread around him, burning the trees and causing the pillars to retreat, but not before hearing a warning from Tanjiro. I will return and annihilate all of you demon slayers, I will kill demons, and you one by one, I will take away everything you love. Tanjiro vanished in the smoke. Tomioka took the remaining part of the katana and, with a flick of his water-breathing technique, extinguished everything. But they couldn't find Tanjiro anywhere. Everyone was saddened, for he was their friend. When they returned to headquarters, the master said the following. Because of you, I have lost one of my sons, whom I considered my father, and now he is gone. You created this new enemy, and he will come only for you. The pillars left deeply regretting what they had done to Tanjiro, so much so that Rengoku fell to his knees and cried, saying, forgive me, Kamado, my boy, I'm sorry. In the distance, he could still see a young man with his blood-covered katana that had disintegrated, and looking to the other side, he saw a pile full of dead demons. Tanjiro walked without emotion or anything, but suddenly he bumped into a girl. She was wearing the same clothes, but on her back she had 2 wooden boxes like Tanjiro's, only black. She had a pink Nichiren katana, and Tanjiro started to approach her and said, hello. The girl pulls out her katana and says, what do you want? Tanjiro. Calm down, I won't hurt you. From what I can see, you're carrying 2 demons in those boxes. The girl was surprised when he opened the box and saw 2 sleeping demons. Tanjiro, seeing this, couldn't hold back his tears because one of the girls reminded him so much of his sister. He stroked the demon girl's hair and caressed her cheeks. The girl couldn't believe that a demon slayer wouldn't harm a demon, and from that, she had the idea that he had lost someone very important in his life. The girl lowered her katana and asked, why are you stroking my friend? Tanjiro stopped touching her and turned the girl around, wiping the tears from his eyes. He replied, I'm sorry, it's just that. The girl. She reminds you of someone. He just nodded and looked at the demon again and said. She reminds me of my sister. The girl said. Where is she? Was she a demon? Tanjiro, if she was a demon, and your first question, she couldn't and fell to her knees and began to cry and said it. Next. The pillars killed her even though she was a demon who did absolutely nothing to them. They took away my only family, she was all I had left. The girl goes to him and hugs him and says, calm down, I also lost my brother, and he was a demon who was 8 years old, they killed him, even though he was just a child, they didn't feel sorry for him or anything, and I search. Tanjiro, revenge. The girl. Yes. Tanjiro says. My name is Tanjiro Kamado, former demon slayer. The girl. My name is Riia, ex-demon hunter, and these are my sister Jurin and my friend Razor. Tanjiro. Laughter, cute name. She blushes and says. Hey, what are we going to do now? Tanjiro stands up and says. I said I was going to take away what you loved most in this life, so I want to start with the water pillar Tomioka by taking your Akadaki. Riia. That sounds good. She tells her friend and sister to get up because it was night. When they wake up and notice Tanjiro, they do nothing because they feel he has been betrayed, so they go directly to Urakadaki's home. At headquarters. The pillars spoke of what they had done. Many said they regretted what they had done, others said they should look for Tanjiro and make amends for the mistake they had made. On the mountain where Urakadaki lives, he was outside holding a framed drawing of himself with Tanjiro and his sister, but also one of Sabito, Mikomo, and Tomioka. Upon learning what Tomioka had done, Urakadaki was devastated, and when he looked at Nezuko's picture again, he cried, remembering the moment she woke up and they hugged. But he was pulled from his reverie by something. He takes a fighting stance, and a tree falls as if it had been cut down. He stands, draws his katana, and goes to inspect it. What he sees surprises him, as it is a katana mark and it is recent. He sees someone climbing the hill and hears something that startles him. Lightning breath, tense stance, blazing lightning god. The slash was so swift it destroyed Urakadaki's house and left a trail of lightning across nearly every tree. Urakadaki asked, who are you? Tanjiro. Hello Urakadaki, I miss you. Urakadaki. Tanjiro, what are you doing? But the swift movement, Tanjiro stood in front of Urakadaki and said coldly. I'll give Tomioka the worst pain. He buried his katana in his chest near his heart and that made him spit blood. Urakadaki. Wyyy Tanjiro. Tanjiro. For revenge and give a message to Tomioka and the others. The hunt for the pillars has begun. I will kill the people you love most in this life. I will not stop until my revenge is complete. I will not kill the master because he is my father and will continue to be so until the end, but you will die by my katana and those of my new friends. Urakadaki. Please Tanjiro, there's still time to fix things, become the boy I knew a long time ago. Tanjiro. That Tanjiro died when his sister was killed and now you are nothing anymore. He turns around and calls his crow. Kurukuro ke la digas a Tomioka y dimas de lo que paso aquai. His crow flew away, turned to Urakadaki, and said, you only have 45 minutes to live until they get here. Oh, and by the way, give my sister and family my regards. See you soon Urakadaki. Chapter 2. After Tanjiro left Urakadaki on the brink of death, he left with Riia and the two demons to kill anyone who stood in his way. They were already at the bottom of the hill walking when they came across 4 hunters fighting 6 demons, and when they saw them the hunters thought they were reinforcements, but it wasn't so. Tanjiro with a quick movement killed a hunter, and that impressed everyone. Hunter 1. Hey, what's wrong with you? Tanjiro. It's time to end this. The two demons and Riia attacked both sides where they had to fight for their lives. At the estate they were just stopping their argument when Tanjiro's crow arrived. Quack, quack, message for Tomioka. Urakadaki is on the verge of death and Tanjiro sent me. Now go and deliver a message or you regret it, murderer. The crow flew away and Tomioka sprinted off, urged on by his master. The pillars followed, as Urakadaki was also very important to them. Kanao, seeing the pillars rushing after Tomioka, followed, fearing Tanjiro might be in danger. Inosuke and Zenitsu also went to investigate. It only took them 39 minutes, and upon arriving, they saw katana marks, a fallen tree, and a house engulfed in flames from a lightning strike that had left scars on the trees. Tomioka saw Urakadaki lying on the ground, bleeding profusely. He went to him and lifted him slightly, but Urakadaki opened his eyes, grabbed Tomioka's sleeve, and said, he came here Tanjiro. Everyone was shocked, as he was Tanjiro's master. Urakadaki. The use of very powerful lightning technique. Zenitsu. Which one? Urakadaki, the 10th god of blazing lightning, sends a message to everyone. He says he will kill all of you, he will kill not only demons, but also demon slayers, he will be your worst enemy, he will hunt you down one by one, until no demon slayer is left alive. He is not alone, he is accompanied by a girl and 2 demons like Nezuko, but more powerful Tomioka. Tomioka. Sensei, please stop. Urakadaki. I'm very disappointed in you. If Sabito and Mikomo were alive, they wouldn't see your face anymore. You've ceased to be something I value. All this is his fault, and now he'll finish them off. Urakadaki closed his eyes and died. Tomioka simply hugged his sensei's lifeless body, lamenting what he had done to Tanjiro. The others lowered their heads, but then they heard a sound like an explosion. They looked out and saw fire below, and quickly began running down to see what was happening. Tanjiro had finished off the demon slayers, and his mark grew larger and larger, depending on how long he used it. As for the demons, they died for both of them, and the demons were eating them before they disintegrated to increase their strength and speed. But then they ate half of the slayers. Riia was happy that she was now next to a very powerful demon slayer, but she saw that he was standing there on a rock overlooking the hill. She stood next to him and Tanjiro said to her. "They're coming, I can smell them, we have to go now." The two demons got into the crates and left. The pillars arrived and saw a horrific scene. Body parts everywhere, entrails in the trees, blood, katana marks and other things. But they didn't see Tanjiro or the other demon slayer, only the two demons who were with him. They were about to leave when they saw some footprints on the ground, which they decided to follow to find out where they were going. When they arrived, the footprints led them to the waterfalls, where they stopped to spread out and search for Tanjiro. They each went their separate ways, but they couldn't find them, so they decided to leave and go look for the four the next day. Tanjiro and the others stayed in an abandoned house where they spent the night sleeping. But Tanjiro knew that at some point he would have to make a very serious decision to end the demon slayers. And that decision was to be the Demon King. Chapter 3. After Tanjiro and the others massacred the demons and hunters, they took a break in an old house to spend the night. Tanjiro thought it was nice to see Riia sleeping alongside her sister and her friend. Of course, his heart ached, but he knew that his brother was now with his family, smiling and playing, waiting for Tanjiro to join them and become a family again, just like before. The next morning, Tanjiro and Riia set out to hunt more demons and further improve their breathing techniques. Tanjiro, with his keen sense of smell, detected a demon not far away. They went in the direction of the scent, which was the demons, but were in for a big surprise. A demon was about to kill a child, but then he heard wind-breathing six-form bloody whirlpool. That technique created a kind of red whirlpool that cut off the demon's head and it quickly disintegrated. The two demons couldn't escape in the sunlight, so they decided to go out at night to kill. The boy was surprised that a young man would save him from a demon. The boy approached Tanjiro, who had put his katana in its sheath. "Excuse me, who are you?" "Tanjiro. My name is Tanjiro Kamado, Demon Slayer, and these are my companions Riia, Jurin, and Razor." Riia greeted the boy, who greeted her back, but she was puzzled by the other two because she hadn't seen them. Tanjiro explained that they had been demons for a long time and the boy didn't care, but Tanjiro asked him. "And your parents?" The boy just lowered his head and tears streamed from his eyes. "My parents died defending me from the devil." "Tanjiro? I'm so sorry, little one, but tell me, don't you want to come with us?" Upon hearing that, the child simply said. "Yes, yes, 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 thank you, thank you." "Tanjiro? Good, but listen, we don't just hunt demons, we hunt hunters too." "Child. But the hunters haven't saved us." "Tanjiro? They killed my sister." You see, Tanjiro told him what the pillars did, and that made the boy furious because of what they did to Tanjiro's sister, and the boy accepted because he didn't care if they killed demons and hunters, as long as they were with him. Tanjiro asked the boy his name, and he said that his name was Lance, and he was 5 years old. Tanjiro grew fond of him because he saw him as his son or brother. They left there and went to eat something to regain their energy. The pillars went to every village Tanjiro visited, but they only found the remains of demons. The people there told them that 2 young people had gone to the western village. The pillars followed the directions they were given, but they never found Tanjiro or the girl. They decided to return to headquarters, having given up hope of ever finding Tanjiro again and asking for forgiveness for what they had done. Meanwhile, Muzan was in the Gates dimension in his laboratory, trying to find a way to become immune to sunlight. He was unsuccessful, and when he learned that Tanjiro had been betrayed along with another demon slayer, he became intrigued, wanting to turn Tanjiro into an upper moon. Even though the 2 demons weren't upper moons, they were powerful, so he sent 50 demons to convince Tanjiro to become one. Tanjiro was in an old village and it was already night. The 3 of them went to different houses to look for a place to sleep until they found a perfect house to sleep in. But Tanjiro's sense of smell detected several demons arriving where they were, and he only slightly flicked his katana, which caught the attention of Riia and the demons, who put on serious faces and asked Lance to stay inside without looking. At headquarters, the demon slayers were about to leave when they were summoned by their master, who informed them that there was an abandoned village with about 50 demons and 2 demon slayers. The pillars went to the village to kill the demons there, but when they arrived, they saw Tanjiro, Riia, and the 2 demons with their tentacles loose and moving around. The pillars decided to hide in the trees so the demons could see what the 4 of them were going to do. One of the demons approached and said, "Tanjiro Kamado, we come in the name of Muzan. He says he wants you to become one of the upper moons, just like your companion who is with you, since he heard that you were betrayed. What do you say?" Tanjiro. "Ha ha 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 ha, my hatred for demons is greater than for demon hunters, thanks for the offer, but no thanks, I prefer to do it myself." Demon? Well, die then, kill them. The demons went to them and he just nodded his head and the two demons ran towards them, moving their tentacles and killing many demons, but also biting them to become stronger. Riia, when surrounded by 6 demons, said. Ice breathing 6 form ring of spikes. She twisted one of the tips of her katana and ice spikes emerged, cutting off the heads of the demons. She saw that there were more and then said. Ice breathing 8 form crushing avalanche. A large amount of snow, like a crusher, tore apart 12 demons. Tsunejio, on the other hand, had 8 demons to attack him. Lightning breathing 7 form blazing lightning. At a very high speed he decapitated the 8 demons and then said the following. Breath of death 12th stance fierce destructive death. An extremely powerful technique killed 14 demons. The others were somewhat afraid to fight against him, but he didn't care. Lunar breathing 8th form lunar assault. This technique was very fast and killed the others. The others decided to flee, but the 2 demons wouldn't let them escape. For some reason, they were letting themselves be killed, or perhaps something else. The pillars couldn't believe that the 4 of them had killed 50 demons by themselves. Tanjiro cleaned his katana and saw that one of the demons had another katana, but a very terrifying one, so he picked it up. But something alerted him. Breath of darkness 2nd form shadow spear. He destroyed the tree and saw that a piece of clothing had fallen to the ground. Tanjiro went and picked it up. It was a piece of the flame pillar's clothing. Tanjiro melted his katana and Riia, somewhat worried, spoke. Is something wrong? Tanjiro. They're here, let's go. The 4 of them went to the village and Tanjiro picked up the sleeping lands in his arms and ran off, leaving the pillars speechless because no one had been able to create their own breathing techniques. Rengoku. I am impressed but also terrified. Tsunemi. You don't even need to mention it, those 4 are very powerful. Shinobu. What do we do now? Tomioka. We shouldn't follow them. Rengoku. I agree, they are very dangerous. I'm sure we'll run into them on some missions. Chapter 4. In an old, abandoned house, Riia let her 2 friends out of the box to sleep in a corner. Lance was getting sleepy and decided to fall asleep in Ria's arms, who was like a mother to him. This brought a small smile to Ria's face, especially when he snuggled up to her chest, accidentally touching one of her breasts and making her blush. But she didn't dwell on it and carried him to her bed so he could sleep well. Riia searched the house for Tanjiro until she saw him sitting on the roof, gazing at the moon. Riia climbed up and sat next to Tanjiro, but out of curiosity, she asked him, Tanjiro, why did you become a demon slayer? Tanjiro. To avenge my family. I wasn't there that day when Muzan arrived and killed my mother and my siblings, but not Nezuko. I swore to avenge them and protect Nezuko. I trained for 2 years with Urokodaki and Sabito. Mikomo helped me train to split the rock in half. Then came the final selection, where I killed the demon who killed Sabito and Mikomo. Later came the missions. I met Zenitsu and Inosuke and we became friends, but they stopped being my friends because of what they did and I will destroy what they love. Riia. I know you will, for your sister. Tanjiro. Riia. Riia. Yes. Tanjiro. Why did you become a demon slayer? Riia. I was 7 years old when I had 2 friends who were more like siblings to me. We were always running around and helping each other with anything. My friend's name was Zek, he was 8 years old and had brown hair. My friend's name was Historia, she was 6 years old. They were like siblings, although Historia was more like my sister, even though she had golden yellow hair. We swore to always be together no matter what situation we were in, but one day I passed by their house, but… Riia. I heard a scream and it was Historia. I went to her house, but what I saw was unbelievable. My friend was missing her left arm and crying, but Zek had ripped it off. He had turned into a demon. His eyes were purple, his pupils slashed, and his fangs reflected aggression. My anger and pain made me lose control, and I grabbed a knife and stabbed him in the chest repeatedly, screaming, Why? Why? Did you do it? My screams echoed everywhere, so much so that their parents came running in just to see me stabbing their son. He pushed me away and took the knife from me, but I kept telling him we had to kill him or he'd kill someone else. They didn't believe me. My father approached Zek and as he got closer, Zek bit him in the neck, tearing away the flesh, and he bled to death. My mother screamed in agony when she saw my father dead. I grabbed the knife again and stabbed him in the neck repeatedly until I ripped off his head. We thought he was dead, but he was still alive. I pushed him outside into the sunlight, where we watched him turn to ashes before my eyes. After he turned to ashes, I cried, mourning the loss of my parents and my 2 friends. Mom, Dad, Zek, Historia. I blamed myself for the rest of my life, but my neighbors told me it wasn't my fault what happened, but to me, it was. From that day on, I lived alone with my aunt and uncle, who took good care of me, giving me food, clothes, and many other things. But I knew there were more children like me suffering, and I swore to avenge those I had lost. That night, a demon with super speed killed my aunt and uncle, but for some strange reason, he didn't kill me. He told me it was because I didn't kill women. I lost more people I loved with all my heart. I was 12 years old when that happened, and I decided to find someone who could teach me how to kill demons. Finally, someone found me. A former ice pillar. I stayed with her, and she taught me a lot, as did my partner, Riia. He and I went to the final selection, where we killed many demons. In the end, something I didn't expect was that I had a sister who had been separated from my parents one night. She was almost identical to me, in a different way. We both became excellent demon slayers, but we encountered someone we didn't expect on a mission. Muzan Kibutsuji. King of demons, we fought him for a long time, but in the end, he attacked us with great force, leaving us in a very serious state. He was about to kill my sister, but I cut off his arm, and we got out of there. Muzan didn't pursue us. We rested under a tree, and I saw the state of my sister and Riia. But then I saw that Kibutsuji gave me a vial full of blood, and it was his, so I had no choice but to give it to them to drink. In a few seconds, they had transformed into demons, and tentacles sprouted from their backs, aimed at me, but they never reached me. When I realized this, they stopped them. I saw their eyes return to normal. I hugged them, crying, and they accepted. We killed many demons, but in the end, we encountered a boy who, upon seeing me, thought I was his brother. In the end, I accepted being his brother, even though I wasn't. On a mission, we encountered a very strong demon who gave us more of a fight than Muzan. My brother was seriously injured, and I gave him Muzan's blood, and he didn't attack me. Nothing, he just hugged me. The four of us were earning a lot from the missions, but the pillars found us and thought they were attacking me. I tried to explain that we weren't attacking, that we were killing demons, but they wouldn't listen, and they killed my brother. I cried like never before, as did my brother and Riia. They didn't understand why we were crying. Why are you crying over a demon? Riia. That demon was my brother. Damn ice-breathing fifth form fierce snow. I launched my attack on the pillars where they were somewhat injured, and I swore to them that I would avenge what they did. I killed hunters and demons where now I no longer cared if they begged for mercy or not, I just killed them until I met you. Tanjiro. I'm so sorry for what happened to your family, Riia. Riia. It's not your fault, Tanjiro. It's Muzan's and the pillars' fault. That's why we have to defeat them. Tanjiro. I see, come on, we need to sleep so we can see where we're going tomorrow, come on. Riia. I'm coming. Tanjiro and Riia went to bed together with Lance, as he loved them like parents. They fell asleep there, hugging each other. Lance said, I love you. Tanjiro smiled and kissed her forehead before they went to sleep as a family. Chapter 5. After Riia told Tanjiro about her past, he focused more on protecting his son and Riia, but he didn't know whether to choose to be the demon king or just be a human. It was a decision he couldn't make. Time passed, and Tanjiro trained with Riia and the two demons. Although Tanjiro sustained some injuries, he didn't mind. His breathing techniques could rival those of the upper moons and the pillars. Riia practiced extensively with ice breathing, and of course, Lance was watched over by his aunt to ensure his safety. They would often travel to different villages to buy supplies and kill demons. With the pillars they could see every trace they left and follow them, but they always disappeared. Now we see Tanjiro walking peacefully when he stops, he feels something near him, he gets into a fighting stance and takes out the katana of the demon he killed, he closes his eyes and concentrates on smelling the direction of the demon, upon detecting it he says. Lightning breath distant thunder of fire. A large number of fire-wrapped lightning bolts shoot out towards a tree where it explodes, unaware that some pillars such as Shinobu, Tomioka, Sanemi and Rengoku were nearby and went to investigate upon hearing the explosion. Tanjiro was serious until someone he didn't expect to see appeared, an upper moon, the upper moon 3 Akaza, the moon that fights with bare fists and doesn't harm women for some reason. Akaza. Wow, a mere human who isn't a pillar and can rival one and can even mix them. Tanjiro. Yes, and you're upper moon 3, the most powerful of the others, on par with moon 2 and moon 1. You know, I always wanted to fight you to know what it feels like. Akaza. Well, you're in luck, I'm going to make you a proposal. The pillars arrive and hide among the trees to see what they were doing. Become a demon. My lord knows what happened to you, as does that girl who follows you. He knows that there are two demons who are stronger than any other and who are like moons when they eat demons. If you become a demon, you will be a moon, the most powerful of all. You will be stronger and perhaps we can fight together for all eternity. Tanjiro. I'm sorry, but I can't accept that offer. I have a son and I don't want his father to be a demon. Don't forget that my hatred for you is greater than the pillars, so I won't become a moon, even if you give me 1,000 reasons. I will never give in to you. Akaza. I see blood technique compass needle. The kind of compass made of falling snow appears beneath the feet of blue pain Akaza. Akaza. If you're not a demon, I'll have to kill you. Akaza started running towards Tanjiro but he. Water-breathing 12th form ferocious whirlwind. Tanjiro began to spin, and a large number of whirlwinds hit his body, causing him to back away a little. Impressive, you are strong. Akaza. Destructive slaughter. Leg-style rings of 1,000 flying planets. Akaza launched himself at Tanjiro at great speed to kick him in the skull, killing him, but Tanjiro defended himself with his Nichiren katana and then attacked. Tanjiro. Moon-breathing first form. Dark Moon Knight Sanctuary. Tanjiro launched a slash aimed at his neck when he was close to him, but Akaza blocked the attack with his fists. Akaza. You have honed your swordsmanship, you are an incredible person, you even accessed the Supreme World, huh? He said, marveling at the great battle that awaits him. Tanjiro. Lightning Breath second form Dark Thunderball. The attack hit Akaza, causing him to lose his left arm, part of his neck, and his eye to the lightning. Tanjiro got into a fighting stance again and waited for Akaza, but he disappeared and reappeared behind Tanjiro, but what he didn't expect was outside. Tanjiro. Solar Breath 6th form. Burning Sun of Bones. He said, in defense against Akaza's attack, that he would surely have seriously injured him and then attacked. Tanjiro. Moon-breathing 2nd form. Moonlit Pearl Flowers. Akaza lost both his arms in the attack, in fury. Akaza. Destructive slaughter. Leg-style fluid light flash. He gave him a tremendous kick that sent him flying and crashing into a tree. He opened his eyes and saw Akaza running towards him to kick him, but Tanjiro was faster. Death Breath 4th form Infernal Destructive Guillotine. He cut off Akaza's leg and half of his head from the top down. Akaza was happy. Akaza. Destructive slaughter. Willow of 1,000 flashes. I tried to hit Tanjiro to weaken him a little, but it wasn't Asia. Lightning Breath 3rd form Thunder Buzz. This form damaged Akaza a little more from the attack, Tanjiro still had enough energy to dig with him. Akaza. Destructive slaughter. Void-style flash of 1,000 planets. I tried to hit him more, but he defended himself. Rock-breathing 7 stance distant wall. The wall of rock rises and blocks the attack, but is destroyed by Akaza. He doesn't see Tanjiro anywhere but hears. Fire-breathing 14th form Dark Lightning Dragon Vortex. Tanjiro is enveloped by fire and dark lightning. Akaza. Is this it? That's the best technique I've ever heard of. Let's see who's the best at destructive killing. Imperial destruction of the moon. Akaza is enveloped in a kind of blue aura from his own attack, he runs straight towards Tanjiro, who simply closes his eyes and leaps at such great speed that a large vortex like a meteor protects him in front of him. Akaza prepares his best attack to finish off Tanjiro, who simply closes his eyes and they both collide, creating a large curtain of dust. The pillars couldn't believe that Tanjiro had become so powerful in such a short time. The smokescreen began to disappear, revealing Tanjiro, but what surprised them was that he was hugging Akaza. Akaza. What? Why is he hugging me? Tanjiro. Because you suffered, you lost someone, didn't you? Akaza's eyes widen in shock upon hearing that, and he feels someone touch his shoulder. He turns around and sees a smiling man with his eyes closed, his hair tied back. Akaza. Master. Tanjiro. You lost everything you loved, Akaza, but you must choose. Remain a demon or reunite with them. Akaza. You're right, now I remember my whole life, if I lost someone I loved. Tanjiro. Meet with her, Akaza. Although I don't think you'll exactly go to heaven, it will at least be good to meet with her one last time. Akaza began to remember his wife when he was 18 and human. His wife was 16, and her name was Koyuki. For those who don't know who Koyuki is, here's a picture. Akaza felt something fall and it was his head, because Tanjiro had indeed cut off Akaza's head, but he hugged him. Akaza just smiled while hugging him, but he felt his head begin to regenerate again. Tsunemi. I don't understand why didn't Akaza attack him. Why did he smile? He thought, confused. Akaza was completely finished, but he kept regenerating. That's enough. Just stop regenerating, Akaza. That's it, I lost. I lost right at that moment. It was a masterful strategy, where they exploited their enemy's own techniques and used their own skills to land a blow. Yes, I lost right at that moment. There is no need to fight anymore. I just want to go to hell like a man. Akaza began to move. Rengoku. Where is he going? He asked, confused, but then the demon stopped abruptly. He stopped. Akaza stood before his father, still in his demonic state. His mother gazed at him with an understanding only a mother could feel. Hakuji. Dad, are you alright now? Does anything hurt anymore? He asked, shocked. Yes, you don't have to worry anymore, Hakuji, thank you, his father said, smiling as he watched Hakuji kneel down again in human form. Akaza. I'm sorry, Dad, I'm so sorry, I couldn't change, I'm useless, he said, his voice breaking. Master. That has nothing to do with it, he said, smiling as he stroked Issei's head. It doesn't matter what you become, a son is a son, and a servant is a servant. We won't abandon you even if you die, although, well, we can't really take you to heaven. Issei. Master, he said, head bowed. Muzan. What does this mean, Akaza? Didn't you tell me you'd get stronger? He asked angrily from the real world, reaching Issei, who had reverted to his demonic form. Akaza. Yes, I'm going to get stronger than anyone. It doesn't matter if they smash my head in, I can still, he said, lost again, I have to keep my promise or. Koyuki. Thank you, Hakuji, you've done enough, she said, smiling as she held his head. It's okay now. Muzan. Akaza. He shouted angrily, but he wouldn't fall now. Hakuji. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you when you needed me. I'm sorry I couldn't keep any of my promises. I broke them all. I'm nothing but a useless person. Please forgive me, he cried out, filled with regret, frustration, and sadness. Koyuki. It's okay, I'm glad you were able to remind us all. I'm glad you're back to being the Issei you always were. Welcome back, my husband, she said, smiling as a few tears escaped her eyes. Father, I've come home. Teacher. Koyuki. I'm back home. Tanjiro, on the other hand, was happy to be with the person he loved again, but. Thunder breathing 6 stance dark thunderstorm. A large number of beams are aimed directly at the pillars, but they dodge them. Tanjiro. It's very disrespectful to watch from the shadows. It doesn't matter, as long as I kill a pillar, it's better for me. Breath of Death 15th stance dark spectral dragon. Chapter 6. Breath of Death 15th stance dark spectral dragon. The spectral dark dragon went straight for the pillars, who barely managed to dodge it, leaving them somewhat injured, but what surprised them most was that the dragon exploded upon colliding with a rock, but the most shocking thing was that the rock was shattered. Tanjiro stood face to face with the pillars, who were somewhat frightened to see that Tanjiro was able to take on an upper moon, and the third, Tanjiro looked at them with hatred. Rengoku. Young Kamado, we have soul to speak. Tanjiro. You're wasting your time, murderers. I told you very clearly that I would kill you all for what you did. Tomioka. You must stop now, you're involving a child. Tanjiro. That child is my son. I will protect him, even if I have to kill you. But remember, you did this. You are the ones who caused it. Tsunemi. We don't care about that child. If he's your son and he's involved, we'll kill him, or I'll kill him myself, and I'll enjoy seeing your face begging for mercy and for them to let him go. Tanjiro. They dare touch a hair on his head, and I will not forgive them. Water breathing 13th form boiling P crane. He launched an attack like very hot spikes that hit Tsunemi in the arm, and he thought it wouldn't hurt, but the reality was different because he felt a lot of burning. Tsunemi. Damn it, that attack is very dangerous. Tomioka moved at a somewhat fast speed, slashing Tanjiro across the chest, but he remained standing. Lightning breathing, first form, flash of lightning. He was faster, giving Tomioka 7 cuts on his chest and arms. Rengoku used a flame breathing technique, but Tanjiro dodged it. Tanjiro. Fire breathing first form blue sky. Tanjiro turned with the intention of decapitating Rengoku, but he intercepted him with his sword. Tanjiro kept going, but he had to finish off the others. Tanjiro. Lunar breathing fourth posture chaotic moons dark solar eclipse. The chaotic moons were launched, hitting Tomioka, who didn't have time to dodge them. Tanjiro. Lightning breathing 6 form boiling thunder. The lightning bolt went straight to Tomioka, who was screaming in pain. Tsunemi went to kill Tanjiro, but he disappeared and reappeared below him, giving him a deep cut in his stomach, and with his katana he raised it, leaving a wound in the shape of a line upwards on his left eye. Tsunemi. This bastard is too strong, he can take on all of us at once and even a moon. Tomioka. It's détente Tanjiro. Tanjiro. I would have stayed with you, so these techniques would have been useful against me, Muzan, but you had to kill my sister because of some stupid rules. You are the real demons here, and that's why I will finish you off. Blood technique spectral eye. Tanjiro's eyes turned redder than usual, but he didn't blink and was very fast, giving Tomioka many cuts. Rengoku tried to go and cut his hand, but he disappeared and reappeared, burying his katana in Rengoku's leg, causing him to scream. He went straight to Tsunemi, giving him another deep cut in his abdomen and leg. Shinobu tried to cut him, or rather poison him, but he dodged, cutting her instead. At one point, he moved the katana faster, hitting Shinobu in the cheek. Tanjiro. Breath of Fire 13 posture Phoenix Whirlwind. The whirlwind, along with Tanjiro who was running, went at a much higher speed than the others were dodging, but receiving burns, it continued and continued until Tomioka saw how he was heading toward Shinobu, so he made the right decision. Tanjiro was getting closer to her until an explosion blinded everyone. After a few seconds, Tomioka was seen with his katana in his hand, as if he were stabbing someone, but no, Tanjiro broke Tomioka's katana and his own. His katana was in Tomioka's stomach. Tanjiro. You're an idiot. He takes Tomioka's katana and plunges it directly into his heart, then steps away from the one who was already about to die. Shinobu was in shock because of what Tanjiro did. She flew into a rage, grabbed her katana, and ran towards him, but out of nowhere, a tentacle with strange blade-like spikes got in her way. Up in the trees, 4 blood-red eyes were seen, and from the shadows emerged Tanjiro's 2 demon allies. Behind them all, Riia appeared with lands in her arms. Rengoku. Why did you kill him? Tanjiro. He was just a nuisance, and he was satisfied that a pillar was dead. Tsunemi appeared, but Tanjiro was faster and with a straight movement cut off Tsunemi's other eye, leaving him blind. Tsunemi. Rengoku Huye. Rengoku. I won't leave, you're my partner. Tsunemi. We provoke this and if that's what he wants, he'll have me. Go away. Tsunemi stops and goes straight to him, but another tentacle appears and pierces Tsunemi's chest, another his abdomen, others his back, another his shoulder. The spikes inside were slowly killing him. Tanjiro. Give my regards to Nezuko. Thus Tanjiro cut Tsunemi's throat and then decapitated him. Of Tomioka, he had died but was being devoured by Ria's sister. His friend removed all the tentacles, but he grabbed Tsunemi's body by the foot and threw it far away, only to extend another tentacle and cut his dead body in half. The pillars were fleeing from them, who only had a somewhat evil smile. Tanjiro cleaned his katana with just a movement and went straight to Riia. Riia. Now what? Tanjiro. We'll go to the red light district. They say an old woman died from falling out of the sky, and also that there's a woman who doesn't come out during the day, only at night. Riia. Do you think it's a moon? Tanjiro. Most likely, but we must be alert. I think the sound pillar will come too. We must go before him. Riia. Okay, by the way, he was asleep this whole time, nothing woke him up, not even your battle against Akaza, nothing. Tanjiro. He's so cute, we'll avenge his family. Riga. Here. Tanjiro. Let's go now. Elsewhere. So Tanjiro killed Akaza and 2 pillars. See Muzan-sama. Muzan. That boy is already getting stronger, but at least I saved myself the trouble of sending moons to kill those pillars. Now all that's left is to find another perfect candidate to be the 3rd moon. You may leave. The demon left, leaving Muzan somewhat angry. Muzan. This will be interesting. Chapter 7. After Tanjiro and his friends took down 2 pillars, he set out for the red light district where the upper moon 6 was supposedly located. At the hunter's headquarters, the master felt sorry for the deaths of Tomioka and Tsunemi, but he knew better than anyone that Tanjiro wouldn't kill anyone else now because he said that the death of the pillar who killed Nezuko was more than enough. Rengoku and the others appear because the master requested them. Rengoku. What can I do for you, boss? Boss. You see, I've heard that in the red light district there have been reports of missing women and murders of old women falling from the sky. Shinobu. Is there a demon capable of flying? Patron. That's most likely, and that's why I want Izui, Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Kanao to go to the red light district. Izui. With all due respect, boss, do you think Tanjiro is there? Patron. It's most likely, if it's there it's also to finish off that demon. If the demon turns out to be a moon and they fail to defeat it, I want you to report it Izui, we already lost Tsunemi and Tomioka. Pillar of the Rock. I feel sorry for them, I wish we had never hurt that poor girl's soul. Mitsuri. If only we had never killed Nezuko. Kanao. Tanjiro now has a dark heart and is accompanied by 2 demons that are almost like demonic moons, and a hunter who is not a pillar is just as strong as one. Boss. Now Izui, I want you to go with your companions. Izui and the others withdrew, but he and those mentioned by the boss left there to go directly to the red light district. Meanwhile, near the district we see Tanjiro, the 2 demons, and Riia eating rabbits. Tanjiro. I never thought those 2 pillars were weak. Riia. I honestly thought they would be very strong, but they are just simple cockroaches, and they think they can defeat Muzan and the strongest moons like that. Zeke. They are very fragile, actually. Story. We improved a lot, but with each demon we consumed, we felt that our strength was no stronger than an upper moon. Tanjiro. That's because maybe the demons they consume have eaten humans, and that makes them increase their strength, and when they devour them it's like eating 80 humans. Story. What will we do? Tanjiro. Well, this is the plan. We need to get hired to live in a house for the time being, so we can get clues about a woman who stays in the shadows or at home all day. Riia. Yes, there are many people here. Who should we go to so they'll hire us? Tanjiro. We must disguise ourselves as women. Zeke. What did you say? Tanjiro. What? Being demons, they can only change their appearance into women as children, old women, or adults. Riia and Historia won't because they are girls, and we won't because we are boys. Zeke. Okay. That's how Z changed her appearance into a very pretty girl. Ignore what she has, but leave the kimono alone. Tanjiro, having somewhat long hair, left it like that but made braids just in case. Tanjiro. I have to admit you look cute, that'll be enough. Zeke. Shut up. Tanjiro. Well, we'll give you another name I know, Haruko. Haruko? Are you serious? Tanjiro. What? Riia. You look good. Haruko. Well, we have to go now. Tanjiro. Wait, remember there's sun, we must wait until the sun sets. The hours passed until it got dark, at which point they left their hiding place and went straight to the district where everyone started looking at them, saying they're beautiful. I've never seen such a beautiful kimono in my life, they're like angels. They walked on, but Lance walked holding hands with Riia and Tanjiro. Izui had just arrived with his friends, but upon seeing Tanjiro in his kimono, like a woman, they were all surprised. Kanao was sad because she saw how happy he was with Riia rather than with her, while Zenitsu was jealous because he had 3 cute girls and a child with him. Inosuke. What's Gunpachiro doing here? Zenitsu. Maybe he found out there must be a moon here. Izui. Most likely yes, come we should go straight to my home, there are some things there we can use. So Izui went straight home, but Tanjiro could smell them with his nose. Tanjiro. They're here already, where is this smell coming from? It's too strong, it's a very strong bloodlust, there's an upper moon here. On a rooftop, a shadow resembling a woman can be seen wearing what appears to be an abyss. I think that's how it's spelled, I'm not sure, but you know they're a rectangular cloth with flowers and are pink in color, watching our protagonists walk by. Haha, 3 beauties who outshine anyone and an ugly kid who's with them, hahaha, this is going to get very interesting. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching, if you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day, bye.